Across the wires and through the air, those who seek will find me there. Story, wonder, voice, and art, find the ears and find the heart. Welcome, dear listener, to Wishcrafting, where we unravel the ancient mysteries woven into the roots and branches of the world's most sacred trees. I'm your host, Wishamaya, and today we are turning our eyes and our spirits towards a giant of the forest, a keeper of secrets, and a living pillar of magic. Today we're talking all about the oak tree, the mighty guardian of wisdom, the thunder caller, the door to hidden realms. From the druids of old to modern witches, the oak has been revered as a tree of strength, endurance, and deep spiritual power for a very long time. So, find a quiet space, perhaps near an old oak tree if you're lucky, and let's step into the shadows of this wondrous ancient giant. If there's one tree that has shaped myth and legend across cultures, it's the oak. Its towering presence, massive limbs, and longevity have made it a symbol of gods, kings, and magic for millennia. In Celtic tradition, the oak was known as Dwyer, meaning door, a sacred portal between worlds. The Druids, whose name is believed to derive from oak knowers, worshipped in oak groves, believing the tree to be a direct conduit between the heavens, the earth, and the underworld. In Norse mythology, the oak was sacred to Thor, the thunder god. It was believed that the lightning sought out oak trees, lighting and igniting them with divine fire. The Greeks and Romans associated the oak with Zeus and Jupiter, their very problematic but mighty sky gods. The rustling of oak leaves in the wind was said to be the voice of the gods, whispering omens to those who knew how to listen. Slavic folklore tells of the oak tree as the world tree, holding up the cosmos with its roots entwined in the underworld while its branches stretch all the way up into the heavens. You see, my dear listener, the oak was never just a tree. It was a guardian, a god, and a living force of nature. Like the maple, yew, and hawthorn, the oak stands at the crossroads of the seen and the unseen. Oaks are liminal trees, growing at the boundaries of sacred spaces, at churchyards, crossroads, and ancient groves across the world. It's said that fairies and spirits dwell in old oak hollows, and that knocking on an oak's trunk 3 times can call forth hidden beings. Acorns were thought to be keys, physical links to the spirit world, and carried by witches and seekers and mystics to open the door to hidden knowledge, and to protect from lightning strikes, which is just really cool. Some legends claim that sleeping beneath an oak on a full moon can bring prophetic dreams, or even whisper the wisdom of the ancestors to those who choose to listen. Oaks are among the longest living trees, with some standing for over 1,000 years. Their sheer endurance makes them a natural ally for spells of strength, protection, and stability. Carrying an acorn can do many things, apparently, but it can also ward off evil and misfortune, protecting, like I mentioned, against lightning strikes, but also against curses and sicknesses as well. Oakwood charms were worn by warriors and travelers for courage and resilience, and burning oak logs in the hearth was believed to purify a home and drive out any malevolent spirits. The oak is deeply connected to the element of fire as well as water, with it being connected to lightning, storms, and the essence of divine power. The Druids would only kindle their sacred fires with oak wood, believing that it carried the power of the divine and of the gods within it. With lightning magic, that some witches who focus on storm magic or elemental magic partake in, oak bark is burned or carried to harness the power of storms and draw down divine energy. I have a small stash, I guess, of bits of oak bark from a oak tree, a very old, large oak tree that was blasted to bits by lightning during a really particularly intense storm over a decade ago. And it certainly has a potent power to it. Witches that are seeking to invoke the forces of transformation and raw power can work with the oak during thunderstorms for heightened magical potency. Since the ancient times, oaks have been seen as oracles and messengers. Listening to oak leaves in the wind is a form of natural divination, one that I've done since I was a wee lass, and that actually has roots in a couple different places all over the world, but it's something that priests, witches, and shamans alike have all practiced for centuries. If this is something that you do, I want to know, so please leave a comment or shoot me a message if this is something that you have experienced or that you do. I want to see how our practices align. Much like the tradition of roasting chestnuts to divine things about future lovers, acorns can be dropped onto an altar or into a fire or on top of a cast iron stove for yes-no types of divination. Do the acorn shells crack? Well, that could be a yes or a no. Do they crack in a certain way? Do the hats pop off? All these things can give you keys into whatever you're trying to gain insight into, if you so choose. You can also draw your own symbols or runes onto acorns and cast them as lots that are naturally imbued with the power of the divine. Add that into their affinity to lightning, and you have a very clear tool for all of your divinatory purposes. Some say that an oak wand that's carved under a full moon carries the wisdom of the stars, and that it can be used in prophetic work. Specifically predicting the future, yes. Not like going into, why is this happening? What can I glean from this? How can I heal from this? Or what am I not seeing? Specifically, prophecy, seeing into the future, divining with fate, which is just really freaking cool. For witches that are seeking resilience, clarity, and a connection to the ancient wisdom of the oak, I have a ritual for you. And it's a ritual that serves as an invitation to listen to the whispers of this very sacred tree. You're going to need just a couple of things. First, you're going to need a fallen oak leaf, branch, or acorn, a white or gold candle that symbolizes wisdom and endurance, a bowl of water to reflect the messages from the tree, and a quiet place near an oak if you can. If you can't, that's okay. It's just going to help the connection be that much more stronger if you can be by an oak tree when you do this. Once you've gathered your materials, you're going to find a peaceful spot near the oak, and you're going to set up your tools. You can make a makeshift altar if you want, maybe give your energy to the space. And then you're going to, of course, ground and center yourself with the acorn, leaf, or twig as your focus. When you're grounded and centered, you're going to light the candle and say, "Oak of the ancients, mighty and wise, guardian of storms, sun, and skies, lend me your strength, let wisdom flow, whisper to me what I must know." And you're going to sit and hold that piece of the oak in your palm, whichever is your dominant hand, and you're going to close your eyes. And I want you to focus on this question. What wisdom do I need, O mighty oak? Where must I stand strong? Once you've focused on that question for a while, you're going to dip your fingers into the bowl of water and sprinkle a few drops onto the oak leaf. If you have a journal or a grimoire, go ahead and write down whatever comes to you. It could be a feeling, it could be words, it could be a phrase, it could be a memory, it could be anything. Just write down anything and everything that's coming to you. If you're near an actual oak tree, you're going to sit quietly and listen to the wind moving through its branches as you continue to meditate on what wisdom you need and where you need to stand strong. You can allow yourself to drop into a flow state and write freely as you focus on the sound of the wind moving through the branches, or you can do it in bits and pieces where you focus and zone into the sound, let yourself receive, and then you write down your experience. If you're inside, you can hold the acorn to your heart or just continue holding it in your hand while you focus on any intuitive messages that are coming through, and you can again do the automatic writing or do it in spurts. Then when you feel ready, when you feel done, you're going to thank the oak for its wisdom, saying something like, "Strong as roots and light as air, oak, your wisdom's always there. I walk in strength, I stand in grace, guided by your sacred space." Then you are going to blow out the candle and carry your oak talisman with you as a talisman of strength. I like to put mine in my wallet. If it's a stick or an acorn, if it's a leaf, I won't lie to you, I'm still also going to tuck that into my wallet, and it's going to eventually turn into a crispy, crumbly mess in there. And then one day, I will eventually clean my wallet out probably, but I'm a goblin, so do what you will. There's certainly so much more that can be said about the oak tree, and I probably will say more about it in the future. But I really missed the tree episodes, so I wanted to pop in and give a short, sweet, grounding dip back into tree magic as we approach autumn and leaf peeping season. My heart and mind is really on the trees. But the oak is more than just a tree. It's a guardian, it's a teacher, and it's a bridge between worlds. Its deep roots reminds us that we can stand firm, while also looking to its towering branches that teaches us that we can still reach higher. Even rooted, we can still reach higher. Whether you're seeking protection, insight, or connection, the oak has an answer for you. It has insight for you. You just have to choose to listen. Thank you for joining me today on Wishcrafting. I hope that the oak's wisdom guides you. Anything that you want to share with me about your experience with oak magic, I am always interested in hearing what magic is happening in your life. And you can find my work and how to reach me in the show notes. Wherever your path leads you, my name is Wishamaya. And until next time, don't forget to keep your roots deep and your dreams wild.